Noelle Holiday, resident best girl of Deltarune. We can all agree to that. But is she also Deltarune's most powerful character? So as I was replaying the game and I went through the weird route again, or the genocide route, snowgrave route, whatever you want to call it, I've come to the conclusion that Noelle Holiday is the current most strongest character in all of Deltarune. Yes, I have theorized that Gaster has an influence in Deltarune in addition to us knowing about Sans. However, none of these characters have any concrete or confirmed fighting abilities yet, so we cannot base them off their Undertale counterparts. However, with Noelle Holiday, I have 4 different points to show you how and why Noelle Holiday is the strongest character in Deltarune. Okay, so going into the base game here, or non-weird route, first thing that really stood out is when you have the conversation with Noelle in disguise, Queen, and Chris while you're in the limo. So if we check it out right now, why do you need to find Noelle so badly? What are you saying? This city is dangerous. Imagine poor Noelle clipping into a wall somewhere. We don't need her speedrunning. Wasting away from potassium deficiency. You're actually worried about her? I would be if I wasn't going to find her. But why her? Wait, let me guess. Is it because she's weak enough to make into your peon? Somebody to be controlled, like a lesser, like a minion, etc. Haha, no. Just the opposite. It's because she's strong. So, Queen, who is a supercomputer, while they don't know common sense and decency, they do have information. That's what computers have. That's what robots, they display. They display information and an understanding of that information. And not in a human, obviously, emotional level. This could be correlated back to another line where right before, while you're driving, she goes, "Oh, Noelle would love this." And she goes, "Why?" Because they're always looking up traffic. So I assume Lighteners like traffic. Okay, it's a knock on, GPS and humans in our society. Obviously, we always go, how's the traffic going there? Or what's the traffic like? We're looking up traffic so we can avoid or not drive. However, a computer sees hits on traffic and a lot of search on it, so they assume that we like traffic. All right, now, going to this. The computer knows Noelle's strong. Without her even displaying any abilities, it's able to read and has the information this character is strong and they need to be on their side. Why? We don't know that yet. And we won't find out. Okay, that's why she's confused. Huh? What do you? And she gets cut off. Okay? What do you mean? How can Noelle, me, weak, unconfident, not sure of herself, Noelle, be of use to the Queen. Queen runs a whole city. Noelle's, just Noelle. But there's something she knows that we don't know. So now we go further in. Now this requires knowledge of the weird route / genocide / whatever you want to call it, snowgrave route. The important thing here is right before you fight Queen, okay? So right before you fight the first fight of Queen, so when she has the controlled Birdly, this line comes here. "Ah, my sweet idiot children, you are just in time to witness my world domination. With Noelle in my possession, it is only a matter of time before her will turns and she unleashes her power. Blanketing the world in blank." Now, this means nothing. Obviously, we're about to get cut off from Susie here, but what I'm trying to get at is the word blanketing. This is a term used for what kind of weather? Snow. There's a blanket of snow. The town was covered in a blanket of snow. The Queen knows about Noelle's frost abilities, her ice abilities. Once she's able to control her will, because obviously she has her weak restitution, she is super powerful, but she has no confidence. She's weak mentally. They will form a unstoppable and very obviously powerful duo. The Queen knows about Noelle's abilities and potential. This just reiterates the point. Now, in order to fully confirm, now these are just terms. I'm just talking about potential. Okay? Because remember, so after this fight, Queen says one last thing that's pretty important, okay? So Queen runs away and you're fixing up Birdly. She goes, the Roaring Night. Today it was created to create this world. She talks about creating the night here, okay? And how fountains are made, etc. So, this is the power of will. The power of determination. The only way to have will and determination, this power, is to have a soul. And she goes, is this not something that all Lightners possess? As she could tell that Susie doesn't have these abilities. And Noelle doesn't really have them. If one was simply determined enough, could not anyone make a dark fountain? So if the night has taken its leave, then I will simply make a new one. She's going to use Noelle to become the new knight. The only way to become a knight is if you're powerful enough to have determination and a soul. Which is exactly Noelle's purpose here. Not only is she ridiculously strong, she is so strong without a soul, without determination. That's the point. That's what Queen knows. So, yes, Noelle is the most powerful character confirmed by a computer. Now, for the actual evidence. Now, this is where the weird route comes in. All we have to do is just get to the Sprampton fight. Neosprampton fight, excuse me. Neosprampton, remember, one of the most powerful characters in the game. Sprampton himself, pretty powerful, but Neosprampton uses the power from the mysterious Mike and Gaster to become probably the most powerful character, more powerful than Jevil. Now, think about this. Chris can do 90% of damage to Sprampton. And Sprampton knows about your heart-shaped item. But what's really interesting here is when, after you get him to about 10% of HP left, he says he never loses in 1v1s, okay? And this is when he ups his attack and defense to absorbent amount, to an abundant, ridiculous amount that where you are powerless. And think about it, Chris, with your soul, is pretty powerful, okay? You defeated Jevil, you defeated King, you defeated Queen, okay? So, now is the point where you have to call, for help, okay? So, let's get here. In a 1-for-1 battle, Neosprampton never loses. It's time for a little blue light special. I don't know why I didn't say special, but Sprampton Neo's attack dropped. Sprampton Neo's defense rose greatly. You're just gonna wear out and die at this point. You can't defeat him. Didn't you know Neo is famous for its high defense? Now, enjoy the fireworks, kid. So, obviously his attacks come out. You keep calling for help and help. Now, in this point, he is so powerful. He has like 9,998 defense. But when Noelle, you call for Noelle here, he feels a chill. And guess what? She does like 2,000 damage to him. That is way more than you can ever do. And this right here shows why Noelle's the strongest character. To take out a demigod, an actual demigod of a character, in not only just one hit. She walked into the battle. She didn't have to charge the spell, but to do about 2,000 HP of damage to him, one-shot him. And not only that, if we go back to Snowgrave, you know how powerful an attack? This is essentially like when Gohan would like lose consciousness because he was so powerful, like when he defeated Raditz as a kid because of his potential. When she casts Snowgrave, she loses consciousness, but her body is so powerful, she's able to cast this spell. And she not only kills Birdly, she effectively kills him in 2 different planes. Think about that. Now, one thing I did want to mention that has nothing to do with Noelle's power and all that. That just happened. This just happens. This is crazy. Noelle is going to get more and more powerful that she can cast Snowgrave like it's nothing. Noelle could be the main bad guy at the end. In fact, she could be taking over or used. These are all theories that we're not going to get into right now. However, one thing that's really important too is that as she became more and more powerful, you have this last conversation with her, and she understands that there's a voice unlike Chris being being heard from her. She's like, what is this voice? And it's very terrifying now because obviously you're in a genocide route and you're becoming more and more twisted and corrupted because you killed everything. However, Noelle, as she's getting more powerful, she can now hear you. She understands Chris is being controlled by what? She's like, oh, I have to find out what this is. And now it becomes a weird concept of being an evil good. Okay? She goes, I need to figure out what this is. Now, she may have killed Birdly, and she killed Neosprampton and a lot of other people. However, it was more of she was trying to put it under the guise of like, oh, I'm weak, this is a dream, or she would misremember things on purpose because of how evil they were and how much torture she put people through. However, she is not the one to be blamed, though she is being used like a weapon here. She makes it her purpose to figure out what is controlling Chris, what is going on, and why can she do these things, which I think is a whole nother video in itself. However, that is it for this video. Guys, I hope you enjoyed it all. I love talking about Deltarune all the time. Let me know what you think about Noelle, why she's best girl, any potential things. She could be final boss, she could be the next hero. Who knows what's going on? But I'll tell you one thing. You can definitely comment, like, share, subscribe, and send me more, theory videos, put me more stuff. I want to talk more. So please, guys, hit subscribe, hit that bell, and, of course, follow any of the socials, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace, homies.